Good evening, Internet, and welcome to episode 19 of Malt and Magic, The Forgotten Kingdom of Nialin. Usual shout-outs to Hero Forge, Incarnate, somebody's clearly dropping die in the background there, D&D Beyond, 5e Magic Shop, and Tabletop Audio. I'm going to keep this nice and quick tonight to get into it. I also want to shout out, please follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and be sure to check out our Twitch. There's quite a few episodes up there now, and we are rapidly approaching our very first live stream. Also a huge shout out to Battle Bards. We are now, as we've sort of spoke about over the last couple of sessions, we are now affiliates of Battle Bards, so if you want a nice cheeky discount on some special effects and audio effects, then go over to Battle Bards, register and use the code Malt and Magic, all lowercase, to get some nice little discounts there. With that, my usual warnings: adult humour, adult language. Let's get into it.
My bad, I dropped my pencil.
Who dropped the shit?
It was me. I was trying to do this, and it fell out of my lip.
I also have the best photo of you succeeding, Danny, because you were on the preview screen. I was like, right, I'm having a photo of that.
I didn't realise you'd have seen it, but
I did.
The eagle-eyed amongst you might have noticed that my HP is now 57 instead of 49. That'll be because I was a twat, and what did I do? I fixed my scores on my character sheet.
Totally fucked up your stats, basically. You overrided, whatever the word is, your scores. So rather than them updating naturally, you were keeping them fixed at like 11, which is why your HP was shite.
Yeah. I've been a liability this whole time.
Anda has randomly entered a magical tempest storm and walked out with more health and better dexterity.
So, no more excuses, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, you can't roll single digits anymore, I'm afraid, and you can't blame it on bad stats.
I was to say, all I can say now is if you roll any single digit on acrobatics, yeah, there's a problem.
Oh man.
I'm trying to think what else has gone up for you. I think stealth went up, deception.
Yeah. My intelligence score went up.
I think that's it.
On paper, but not in real life.
Good stuff. So last week we had our very first shopping episode.
We did.
So 3 hours pretty much of you guys buying a lot of cool shit.
And
so apologies,
I forgot to buy some of that.
But it was fun.
I forgot to buy some, so when I go back, I forgot to buy something that I wanted, so when I go back to Mephisto's, I'll have to buy something else.
Good stuff.
To be fair, I've done exactly the same, so I need to bugger off to Mephisto's and go, thanks, can I have something else?
So, I mean, as you left Mephisto's, there was an agreement that you would return in a week anyway to pick up some items that he was enchanting for you. And you went to the tavern, or back... Yeah, no, you actually went to the tavern rather than back to the tavern because you hadn't been there yet this trip. And in there met Thailania, had or a brief chat with her around the state of Nathim, around sort of training, a little bit around the Malt Masters as well, having entered a little bit of a period of distrust with your would-be leaders. And that's kind of where we left it. I think you were on your way back over to the Malt Masters Guild, or Malt Masters Keep, I should say, to then basically pilfer the library. And that is where we will begin tonight.
Well, yeah, I think it was Kirik wanted to go and pilfer the library, but we were also like, maybe we will actually just go and ask him a few more questions and be a bit nicer. Especially, I think it was the Cooper, wasn't it, that Anda wanted to go and see?
The Cooper is... I recommended Kirik speak to the Cooper because he's always been the most helpful and friendly towards us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Cool. So you part ways with Thailania and begin to make your way back towards the keep. And as you sort of walk through the now familiar four statues and approach the ramp, Bothrid once again turns. We'll wait outside. Wait by my tree. Call
Bothrid,
if need.
actually, if I could give you a couple coin, do you mind going to get us some food for our new house? Is that something you think you could do?
I can go to market outside. Keep.
Sounds good, yeah. Here's 10 gold, and go get some food, some drink, anything you want as well. But we're going to be here for a week by the sounds of it. Some nice stuff if you can.
Okay. Takes 10 gold into his coin purse, ties it at his belt, and sort of skips off with a now double-bladed quarterstaff strung across his back.
Like Little Red Riding Hood.
Massive ass barbarian with troll gloves or whatever they are.
Yeah, Bothrid is now a barbarian badass. Pretty much. He's literally going to drive fear into the hearts of very small men.
When can he do, or can he already do? Is it frenzied rage? Can he do that?
I think he can do reckless attack now.
Yeah.
Don't think he can
I
do
do that all the
frenzied
time.
rage just yet.
Yes, but that's his character, not a particular ability.
Yeah, at the minute it's just so he's got rage and reckless attack, but also gets danger sense. So yeah, Bothrid's got some.
God, his fucking spider sense must be going off all the time.
Go with danger sense and warding. No one's going to sneak up on us
Danger
again, are
sense
they?
is. Oh no! In fact, no. You have advantage on Dex saving throws against effects that you can see while not blinded, deafened, or incapacitated.
Ooh, now you've got your special
Thank you
ammo.
of being a bard.
Full on ninja.
Cool. So you walk up the ramp and the doors open as the guards this time just wave you in. And almost as if she sensed your presence, the lady in waiting, if you would like to refer to her as that, Mirabelle, is waiting there for you. And she sort of bows her head and then looks at you questioningly.
How do you do that? How do you just know we're coming and just appear? It's quite creepy, really.
She taps her nose and smiles.
Trust me, you, Dragon.
Yeah, that's probably me. Really should go shower. But anyway, no, that's not that Mirabelle. That's the one. I get my ladies confused. Would we be able to have a look at the library, and also is the Cooper around by any chance?
She nods
To which?
and then points out of the door. And as she turns, she sort of points out of the door and then points to the right. And then just sort of beckons you on.
So,
Lovely.
was that the library or the Cooper that she pointed to?
She does a motion like,
No library.
Has she always been mute? Have I just never noticed before? Have I just been that ignorant this whole time? I didn't realise she was mute.
We're really fucking astute. We are super astute. Like, you know, no one can sneak up on you, but apparently, you
thinking
can't
she's an
speak. Oh, I'm
ignorant
so sorry.
I didn't realise, sorry. Oh, awkward.
All right, maybe we'll go and see the Cooper then.
cool.
I lean over
Thank
to
you,
him.
So you
This is awkward.
I'll say thank you in sign
walk
language.
through into the hall entrance, and there is an open door to your right, and behind that door you see a number of barrels, kegs, casks. And you do then just hear sort of the sound of metal being hammered out, but also the sound of physical effort, shall we say. So there's a lot of grunts and sort of As you step through, you see the Cooper with a stall in front of him, his weapons laid along the side of the wall, still wearing his armour, a hammer in one hand, and he is bending a piece of wood. And he's got basically a metal ring now with various planks of wood set up. Looks like he's making another cask.
That's impressive, Cooper.
Have we caught you at a bad time?
Oh, boys. Come in.
Thank you very much. Sorry to intrude on your work.
No bother.
Thought we would come in, say hello, and well, firstly, I'd like to apologise for our rather cold behaviour when we came in before. It's been a tough road back, and now we've had a good rest. I certainly know how abrasive I must have looked back then. So please accept our apologies.
Of course. So, what brings you to see the old Cooper here?
Well, information, really. Do you think you're the man to help us?
Depends on the information, I guess, boys.
We are going to, but fortunate circumstance, going to be spending some time at the keep or this general vicinity. We were wondering if we could perhaps make use of your library for our stay here. I think we plan on staying for about a week. So if we could have some access to library, learn a little bit more about our surroundings before we depart to where we need to go.
Of course. I believe we said before, the library is yours, should you wish. There is, it's up on the second floor. It's known as our private library. Not many people go in there. There is also a more public library down here, depending on what you're looking for. Probably worth looking in both, knowing yourself.
Yes.
If you wish to go to the downstairs library, then it is simply back through the entrance, round the corner, take your first right, and it is the only room down that hallway. Alternatively, it's upstairs and then into the main hallway, and the furthest room to the right.
For my personal sort of research, I want to research the weaponry library or your personal stash.
You want to try that again, Danny?
Balls. Try that again. Sorry. Take it two. I personally would like to research elven weaponry. I've newly acquired some new items, and I want to learn more about them. Would that be a public library item, or is that more your personal stash?
Well, I would assume for the bow you now wield.
Yes, it's quite a big piece on my back. Yeah.
There are plenty of books in the public library that will teach you about how to use them. Might I suggest physical training, however, with that particular tool?
I will definitely need practice. Thailania said she could help with some training, or she knew somebody who could help me with some archery training. But I'd like to do a bit of reading if I can.
Very well.
Are you boys wanting to check out the private library? Because I don't mind going alone and retrieving this book, but meeting you in a moment.
I have various things I wanted to have a look at, so I think I will be mostly jumping between the two, so I don't mind starting in the public library.
Yeah, I think I'll stick to the public library, because I'm guessing that I'm not really one for books, but I'm going to try and read up a bit of knowledge on. Did you say it was the Feywild? And that might be something we need to know about. And just that, and some of the gods. To be honest, just trying to understand a little more than that.
Well, if you wanted, if you want to know about the Feywild, I could always try. And I've not really done it much, and I think it's been more through luck than judgment. But I could always try and commune with the spirit who seems to watch over me. She is a Fey spirit, so I could ask her for information if we wanted. See if she had any.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if she can be more specific about the Eladrin or anything that might intimate, what he might or might not be able to do, where he might or might not be going, just something. But
yes.
I'm just trying to get a little bit of more of a background of both of them, just general.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to get bored within an hour and leave anyway.
I shall commune with her while you search for books and you look for colouring books, don't you?
Yeah. Pretty colours. That'll be good.
Everybody make me a perception check, please.
Ooh, first roll.
Oh. No, that was nearly good. 10.
It was nearly good.
Yeah, it was on 17 and then it flipped over to 7.
5.
24.
Whee.
So the rest of you notice nothing. Kirik, however, at this moment, you now focus in with the talk of gods a little bit more on the Cooper himself. And although the Cooper doesn't flinch, make any movement, you now notice that on his armour is a small, almost like plaque, shape of a shield, and on that shield is a dragon's head, and the armour itself is all silver in colour.
Does that ring any bells?
You would recognise that as one of the symbols that you have seen in the temple just this morning.
Okay. Do I know what god that
Make me a religion check,
adheres to?
please.
That's good. 13.
So with a 13, you are aware that there are many gods, and you have heard talk of people worshipping draconic gods, or gods that are said to take the form of dragons. The name currently escapes you, but you have heard of people worshipping dragons before, or worshipping draconic gods, I should say.
Interesting. Okay.
Cooper, may I ask you may have already actually told us this, but how long have the Malt Masters been here? I believe you also said, and correct me if I'm wrong, that it was the seer who brought you, just like we were brought here?
She guided us from beyond Nialin. The powers are impressive. We have been here for, must be 3 centuries now.
And that is all of you. That's not like a generational thing.
No, that is the 4 of us.
Ah. And that's not like you actually 300 or 400 years of being here. That's not like you're doing some calculation to how long we're away from the world or anything. As in, does time work differently? Do you know?
We have been here for 300 years in Nialin.
Well, you look good on it.
Thank you.
how? If I may ask.
Well, therein lies some secret, boys, or some secrets that only the most worthy in the guild are granted access to.
And with all the time you've been here, you are happy that the right course of action at the moment is for us to follow this prophecy, look at the areas that we have previously spoken about, and that we will find the answer along the way. That's, to the best of your knowledge, that's what we need to do. And also, correct me if I'm wrong, I was quite tired when we were speaking, that we don't necessarily know that the Eladrin is, well, why he's trying to stop us or what he's trying to do with it. It's not like he's involved in it completely. He just seems to be a thorn in our side, just a fucking massive one.
And he reaches down and pulls out a drinking horn, pops a cork off the top, takes a swig, pops the lid back on, puts it back at his chest, at his waist. We're off the beaten path here, boys. You know what we know. Well, you know what I know. The distiller has so many secrets, I think even she forgets them these days.
Well, now we know how bloody old she is, I'm not surprised.
Indeed.
Can we just circle back around to that? So are you saying you've found like a fountain of youth? Or a life-sustaining... I mean, I know all elves can get pretty old, but...
I mean, if you're telling me that we need to drink whiskey to stay young, then cheers.
Whiskey is the thieves' cant for water of life. I've been told.
And again, he pops the lid off the drinking horn, takes a swig.
Can I have a swig of what you're drinking?
Of course. And he hands it over.
I drink from the opposite side because I don't want his germs, and I'll take a big swig.
Enjoy that one, and put hair on your balls, lad. And as you drink, yes, it is strong. It is peaty. It is smoky.
Fucking hell. I'm blind.
First fill that one. Straight from the cask. Thought you might enjoy that.
I feel I've cut. That's some good stuff.
Feel a little bit of a buzz. It is cask strength whiskey.
But as much as I'd love to sit here and drink whiskey, shall we go and bore ourselves to death in this library?
Yes, and I will find myself a little quiet corner and ask the spirit for guidance. I'm not used to this, but I'll give it a good go. Yes, I am. Did you not know I'm blessed? Fey blessed. You not notice my snazzy
Fey
boobs?
blessed. I've heard of Fey touched.
That's the
I
one.
thought that was just something dodgy they did in the woods.
No, that's what a priest did to me when I was 10.
Yeah, I thought he was looking funny.
Scrap that, delete.
The Cooper sort of nods. Well, enjoy your reading, boys. If you would enjoy a drink later, then it's been some time since I had the drinking buddies that I used to.
Sounds like a plan. I'll be back at sunset. See you then.
Sunset it is.
Where?
He then turns and starts bending more wood.
If you're going to the library, I need to find a quiet corner. So when we're on the way to the library, I will find a little quiet place. So I can't be talking in the library, can I?
Well, what about your old room here?
Yes, that's there. Yes, true. Yeah, I'll retire to my old room.
So you follow the Cooper's directions and you enter a room with 2 tables in it, a single chair at each, and then the walls are just floor-to-ceiling bookshelves all around you. It's not a library as in there's a librarian there. It is a reading room.
I'm going to start looking around for... I'm going to try for 3 books. One on just a general oversight of the deities. Another one on if there is anything of the Feywild or anything. And the third one, it doesn't matter if I can't find that one. The third one will be a more of a... Is there a... how to do well in combat sort of thing. See if you can read up on the sensible ways of utilising a hammer.
I will say that as we are making our way there, I will kind of place my hand on Dagon's shoulder, grab on my holy symbol, and I'm going to cast what's it called?
Ability charge.
Enhanceability?
Indeed, Fox's cunning on both of us, so we have advantage on intelligence checks for the next hour.
Suddenly, some half-moon glasses appear out of nowhere on his nose.
Yeah. I'll cast the 3rd level, so I get 2 creatures.
It's actually a vein which begins to bulge in Dargon's temple as the blood flow just increases to his brain.
I can see everything.
He now looks like Megamind.
Yeah. What ho, chop chop and carry on.
Dargon now sees the world in code.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
He's in the
It's
Matrix.
just CEO now. I know Kung Fu.
Okay. So,
No, unfortunately, all it's done with
Dargon.
Dargon is allow him to read.
He's beginning
so
to believe.
Dargon, as you enter the reading room, I need you to make me an investigation check.
Sorry, me. Right, yeah.
Yes.
Ooh, that's nice. An unnatural 20. Alright.
Natural 20. So as you look around, you find a particular shelf which seems to be of the divine or talk of different divine elements. And there is one book which you can just about make out on the spine, as it's quite faded. But it says The Pantheon of Nialin.
Cool. I'll pick that one up.
Cool. So you pick that one up. And are you going to look for the rest, or are you going to read that one first?
I'm going to pick them all up because I really didn't have a very short attention span, so I'm going to just try and pick them up and
Make me a second investigation check, please.
see what we can find. 13 plus 17.
You look around this particular library, you sort of spend some time going across the shelves. There is no mention of anything to do with the Feywild.
Fine. I give up looking.
And a third investigation check, please.
Oh, I fell off the desk. Try again. Natural 20.
Natural 20. This one almost draws your eye immediately. There is almost a whole bookshelf itself from floor to ceiling dedicated to the combat arts. One of which says, "Hammers nail your enemies in combat."
Nice.
And Dargon does chuckle like, yeah. I'll pick that one up, and I might just pick up a sort of a general fighting one in there as well, if there's a whole shelf, just to have a look.
Okay. Yeah, there's a couple of just sort of fighting styles books. Some on sword combat, some on just hand-to-hand combat.
It's probably just I'll try and find one on general combat, as in combat strategy. That'll be the word. That's the word I've been looking for. So
You do then find one on battle tactics.
yeah, cool. So he has a look at that. Sits down at one of the tables, if there is a table, or chairs or whatever, and looking around and knowing that the first time that we were here, I admittedly I know it was in the smoking room. Actually, sod it. I'm going to take. Can I take them out of the library to the smoking room?
Would you like to take them out of the library to the smoking room?
Yeah, because I was like, yeah, I'm going to take them out there. So I go there. I was like, Kerrick, I'm going to leave you to your piece because I'm probably going to be flicking through these just looking for the pictures.
Very well.
And as you exit through the door, there is a voice from somewhere.
Be sure you bring them back.
Yeah, will do. Cool. I'll go to the go to the smoking room, light a cigar, and start reading.
Cool. Who's next?
Kerrick's in the
I can go
library, so
next.
you might as well. Yeah.
Kirik?
But looking at the things I want to look at, I don't think I'm going to find anything of what I want in here, but I will try. The only thing I think I'll find any information on here is if there are any books about the Failure Forest in here.
Make me an investigation check, please.
13.
You look around, there is a single book. Very dusty, very faded. You can't even make out the first half of the word, but there is an apostrophe and then Liad and its mysteries underneath.
Okay, I'm going to take a note of that and I will keep the book there. And then I will look for books about the ruins of Ixalion.
Okay, make me an investigation check, please.
Natural 20, and the other one was a 19, so yeah, that was good.
Remind me the languages you speak, please.
Oh boy, Abyssal, Common, Orc, and Sylvan, or Sylvan.
Okay, you do not find anything on Ixalion.
Brilliant. In that case, I will then just make a mental note that that book is down here about the Failure Forest, and I would like to make my way up following the Cooper's instructions.
Okay, so you make your way through. So you go through the whiskey store and head upstairs, and you sort of follow the route round, and eventually you come to the very last room on the right hand side, as if you're going north. The door is currently shut.
Oh, do I see anyone around?
There is no one around.
Okay, I will knock on the door.
You knock on the door, there is no response.
Okay, I will make my way down to the Cooper. And then, getting there, I will ask, excuse me, my friend, excuse me for intruding once again. Trying to get access to the library upstairs, but it seems to be locked and no one's inside.
Use the pin, boy.
In.
Yes,
Of course.
the Malt Master's pin. The one that each of you were given.
I will do that. I forgot I have it. Yep, I'll make my way upstairs and see if there's a place to insert the pin in.
Make me a perception check, please. Or investigation. That's probably more investigation than perception.
Sure. That is 17.
It's not actually very hard to find now that you do know what you're looking for, and just above the door handle itself is a shield-shaped recess.
Cool. I will insert the pin
So
there.
you put the pin of the Malt Masters in, and as you do place it in, you just hear a click.
Open the door, if I can.
And the door opens. In the room before you, you now see a rug in the centre, a circular rug, with 3 very plush leather chairs, and not quite floor to ceiling, not quite as full as the other room, but there are a number of bookshelves. The books on here, some of them are partially destroyed. A lot of them are very, very old. There are some in languages you simply do not speak and cannot understand. As you look at the spines, some of the runes don't make sense. You begin to understand why this is a private library.
Sure. I will try my luck, though. Right, to start with, information on the ruins of Excellium.
Make me an investigation check, please.
11.
You see nothing. You can't find anything that mentions Excellium.
Cool. I want to try and find a book that speaks about the magical mishaps in Nialin, and perhaps when those might have started, around what time, and if there's like any registry of when they happen, where they happen, frequency, etc., etc.
Okay, make me an
Musical
investigation
mishaps
check.
is a really nice way of putting it.
19.
This one, you find it's not quite as old as the others. Almost looks freshly bound. And on the spine it says the wild magic of Nialin.
Cool. Once again, make a mental note. I'm just gonna go through them, see where they are, and then I'll take the time to investigate each one, since we're gonna be here a week. So, another thing would be books mentioning the Wrath Strike, and perhaps what the Malt Masters are doing with the metal.
Make an investigation check, please.
10.
Struggle to find anything on this one.
Okay. Then history of the kings, in particular the wizards of the courts of those kings, perhaps even wizards that were banished because of the information I got about the sword yesterday.
So you are specifically looking for information on the king's courts?
Yeah, at least so I can
Maybe
try to get a name for this wizard that might be living in the sword. 15.
15. So this time you come upon a book, very dusty, very, very old, almost falling apart, and it reads The Legend of the Brother Kings.
Okay. Brother Kings. Cool. And then finally, just because the Cooper mentioned it, and it kind of set my alarm, I want to try and find any books mentioning unnatural ways of prolonging life. Because...
Make me an investigation check, please.
300 years is a long time. 17.
17, you look around. No book.
That was a long shot anyway. Cool. I will
Not with your
then...
current understanding of languages, you see nothing in there. As I say, there are a lot of books
Fair
in
enough.
here written in languages you do not speak. Whether they
That's
are...
fair. In that case, I will then grab the Wild Magic of Nialin and give it a read.
Okay, we'll come back to that in a second. Ander,
Sure thing.
Have I made my way to my room now? Or my old room?
Yes.
When the first time I was here.
You've made your way to your old room, and you've made your way into the room itself. It is sort of pristine, totally clean. Doesn't look like anybody stopped here, probably since you were last in here.
So, being a bit unfamiliar with how to commune with higher powers, but also secretly being a little bit jealous of the fact that the other two can do it, I'm going to kind of copy what they do. So she's a fey spirit, and the thing that she has gifted me is my fancy boots. So I will kind of take them off, place them on the table, and kind of use them as a focal point almost to try and meditate and commune with the spirit. So I'll kind of just place my hands on the boots and close my eyes and just ask her to come to me if she's willing.
Make me a nature check, please.
Oh, I'm well good at those. 11.
So you sort of look at your boots, you close your eyes a little bit, and as you reach out and sort of focus on them, you can feel the nature of the boots. You understand that they themselves are crafted out of some sort of magical plant, but you struggle to really grasp that feeling of the Dryad spirit through the boots.
I will try to become aware of the fact that I have a subconscious disdain for certain elves, or just elves in general, and I try not to let that cloud my thoughts, because it appears I do have an affinity for elven weapons, and it appears that I need to try and let this anger go towards all elves, I suppose, because it is a prejudice and I know it is wrong. So I clear my mind of that and try again.
Okay, so this time I am going to ask you to make me a straight charisma check with advantage, please.
Oh, for fuck's sake. 11 again.
So this time as you focus not on the boots but more on that internal feeling, you do manage to suppress the hate, the loathing of the elven race, and there is a stirring of something, but you just can't quite grasp it.
Can I say, please, I need you now, but in Elvish?
You're saying in Elvish?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
This is not helping with the hatred. I'm getting angry. Okay. I will... What will I do? I will put the boots back on. That's clearly not working. My feet are a little bit cold because it is colder for this time of year. We established that last time. And I will... I know quite a lot of languages, so I'll try them all. I'll say, come to me now in Thieves' Camp, which is Ariup Slag, and then Abyssal, whatever that is. It's essentially a Cockney in it, is how I imagine it. And then Abyssal and Silver.
Pause. So, as you speak in Abyssal, the light in the room begins to dim, and it's almost like the room shrinks around you for a moment, and then there's nothing.
Oh. Do I perceive that as it nearly worked, or I shouldn't do that again?
Make me an intelligence check, please. In fact, no, make me a wisdom check.
14.
You get the feeling that was something other than the Dryad spirit.
Oh. Okay.
As you then try in Sylvan, I need you to make me a persuasion check with advantage, please. And this time, almost seemingly out of nowhere, you feel that presence inside of you, and you just reach out. And in Sylvan, you sort of reach out and ask her, "Come to me." And eventually there is almost like a wind in the room. You smell the scent of dewy grass and the scent of the forest. And then there is a voice on that wind from nowhere. "You called, and
So, I assume I speak to her in my head. So, in my head, I will say, I'm sorry to call on you when I'm not in mortal peril, but I feel like I need your guidance and I need your blessing once again, if you are willing to give it. I have 2 asks of you this day."
what is it that you ask?"
Firstly, it is a selfish ask, I must admit. As you may know, I have an affinity for elven items and weaponry, and I have recently acquired a new weapon that I feel will help me defeat the Illegal Eladrin, save Nialin, and restore what once was this land of Nialin. But I'm not used to this kind of weaponry. I'm unfamiliar with it, and I feel like with your blessing, I could master this weapon, and it could be my magical item to wield. If you are willing to give me your blessing or help me.
There is a momentary pause. The wind drops slightly and then picks up once more. "Spend time with the bow. Speak to it. And then train with it. I shall guide your hand."
"And I shall be your champion." Now, my second ask, if I may.
You may.
What can you tell me, or what advice or guidance can you give when trying to navigate the Phaliad forest? We believe that is where the evil Eladrin is hiding out, or it may be his base of operations, or at least his key to moving between this world and the next. I don't mean death, I mean the different planes of existence. What advice or guidance could you give me when entering this forest? Or any insights or advantage you could give me?
When you enter, seek me out. We shall talk once more.
It is comforting to know that you will be with me and you are with me, and I feel like I may need to commune with you or think of you more so we can keep our bond strong.
I am here. You only have to find me.
feels like it should be costing me £1.50 a minute with that little sexy voice you got going on there.
There you go. DM's pleasure turning his players on.
Yeah.
Back in the zone.
Thank you, wondrous spirit. Until we speak again.
You are most welcome. And the wind drops, the scent of the forest recedes, and as you now look where you were, I think you were knelt, weren't you?
Yeah, at a table, however that was, whether there's a chair or not.
Yeah, so as you look where your boots were placed, be it stood, sat, knelt, wherever, there is now a small patch of grass there with a single sapling, tiny little sapling now growing out of that patch.
I'll take that. I'll give it to Buffers. He'll like that.
Cool.
And then what I will do, I'll not go find the others yet. I will take the woman's advice and I will just sit and spend time with my bow.
Excellent.
Speak to it in Elvish.
So we will come back to that. Dargon, in the smoking room.
Yes.
Which book are you currently studying?
The battle statistics caught my eye.
So the battle strategy one.
That's the one.
Okay. So we'll say you spend, for the sake of this, you're now all going to spend the next hour either reading or studying or whatever. So you spend an hour sort of flicking through this book on battle strategy. It is written in common. I need you to make me an intelligence check, please. Almost dropped my whiskey then.
14.
14. So, a lot of it you already know. You have spent many a time in battle. You focus in on a particular part which talks about shielding others.
Yep.
And this sort of resonates with you. You feel familiar on this. You also find another section that talks about the best ways of casting spells while in hand-to-hand combat. And again, that sort of resonates with you.
Yeah.
And there are other sections, some on how to place your forces. There are notations on how to inspire your forces. And then there are some areas, or there is a particular chapter which talks about how to use a shield, not only defensively but also offensively.
Cool. Yeah. I'll take all of that on board.
Which one?
Sorry, what? Not next book, sorry.
No. So which one of those sections would you like to focus on?
Which one of those sections are? Oof. I like the. Did you say there's sort of an inspire others around us? Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so you spend an hour or so reading that, and you sort of get about halfway through the chapter, and it begins to instill in you a sense of how you can rouse people, what sort of language to use with those you fight with, and how to rally them to your cause, but also how you can build them up. And it's at that point where you the hour passes, and You're about halfway through that chapter at this point.
Cool.
Kirik. Which book?
Wild Magic of Nialin.
The Wild Magic of Nialin. Anything particular you're looking for in this?
Yeah, I think I'm be focused on the first recorded event, and I suppose kind of like the frequency of these events and the nature of them.
Okay, so make me an intelligence check with advantage, please.
19.
It doesn't take a lot to actually find this. In fact, in the introduction to this book, it talks about how Nialin has always had almost a natural affinity for wild magic events. There are theories and legends as you read over the hour about how Nialin itself may be on a magical ley line or has some sort of great magic just embedded in the land itself somehow. However it came to be, whether it is a natural rift, whether there is something buried, whether there is a ley line, that is not known, but the introduction sort of says that there have always been wild magic events in Nialin. It was not something that simply started. For as long as people have been in Nialin, there have always been wild magic events. The frequency varies, and you do sort of finally hit on a final scribbled note in one of the sort of the spines, one of the edges of the page, that says the occurrences seem to increase as the war wages on.
I have any idea what this war refers to?
Make me a history check, please. No.
Cool. Awesome.
Anything else? In this particular book, I should say.
What's the most recent addition to these events?
So you read the introduction, and then in true spoiler style, flick all the way to the end of the book. And there is a couple of handwritten notes which sort of spill out onto the table. Two are written in a language you don't understand, but one is written in common, and just describes the appearance of a light in the sky and an explosion in the west. And then underneath it just says Wrath Strike. The handwriting is very, very elegant.
Cool.
Okay. And so
I'll spend the rest of the hour just looking at reading the book to see kind of like what the various nature of these events is. People being transported, meteors falling. Yeah. those that I know.
Cool. And you do, as you read and sort of flick through, there are tales of strange creatures appearing. There are meteors. There's people disappearing and reappearing in random places. There are people being transported into Nialin. There are also stories of areas and people being changed irrevocably.
Any area in
We'll say
particular?
that is it for now. We'll leave that for now.
Cool.
Over to Mr. Hornraven. You are muted.
Yes.
There we go.
Okay. So I've just spent the whole time studying the weapon, becoming familiar with it, looking at all the etchings, all the markings. That's all I've been doing
so
for this hour.
As you sort of spend time looking over this bow, you study it very closely, and you can you now understand that the almost ivory type arms of this bow are made from a very grey white wood, and then the handle itself is wrapped in the finest leather, and there is gold then inlaid either side of the handle itself, leading into the arms of the bow. There is then a phrase written in Elvish along the handle, which, as you read it, says, "Swift death to you who have wronged me. I need you to make me an Arcana check, please."
Seven. So nearly a 20.
7. So you struggle a little bit with this piece. You see the phrase. The bow itself is very much like, other than being beautiful, like stunning in terms of craftsmanship, works very much like a normal bow. A little bit more cumbersome than you're used to. It's obviously a lot longer, a lot taller than the usual bow you're used to. Something keeps drawing your eyes back to that phrase. And over the course of an hour, you finally take hold of that handle and hold it as if you were holding a longbow, and go to draw on that bowstring. Make me another Arcana check, this time with advantage, please.
Whew. 22. Good job you said advantage.
And this time, as your fingers sort of touch the bowstring, your eyes almost instinctively close, as you've now spent that hour understanding, beginning to really attune to this item. Not that it needs a tuning. Yes, it does. Yeah, it does need a tuning. And in Elvish, you hear in your head, "Speak to me of your enemies." And it's almost like, it's not like the voice as you heard with the sword before. It doesn't feel like a personality. It feels like an instruction.
Okay. I'm starting to worry then. I've been
And in doing so,
cursed. Yeah.
in doing so, you now understand how this bow works. And another phrase becomes apparent on the top arm of the bow as you now look, which says "swift defeat to my enemies." And you now understand that that is the phrase you must whisper to this bow in order to unlock the magic of the bow.
Okay.
You now also feel a distinct familiarity with this bow. You think you could probably use it. I wouldn't say you're proficient at this stage.
Okay.
But you certainly think you could attempt to take a shot.
Really confident. Good.
So you spend an hour. And at this point we're probably around 3 in the afternoon. I should probably think 3, 4 in the afternoon.
I will go and try and find... I'm on the second floor where the private library is, isn't it? I've gone to my room.
Yes. So as you step out of your room and look to the right, you see that the door is open to the private library. And you can just about see inside. Kirik sat in one of the chairs.
I'll go over to Kirik then, please. It's a good job I left the door open because my pin's with Mephisto.
True.
Not that I know that, but that's metagaming a little.
So on the map you are currently in the top right-hand most corner there, in that private library.
Ooh, Wizard's Tower. Yes, so I'll walk into Kirik and approach him quietly because it... Yep. Straight in. I'll approach him quietly, but not sneaking up on him. I don't want to startle him, but obviously respecting that he's in thought. How goes your research, friend?
Oh, it's going fairly well. I've learned a little bit about the nature of these strange events that seem to be all around Nialin. Seems to be that it has happened ever since people remember. So it doesn't seem to have begun when Nialin was separated from the rest.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah. How's your commune?
I think it went quite well. It took me a while to actually get a response or to commune with her. It's not something I'm accustomed to, but she did give me a response, I suppose. I asked her about the forest, and I did. She just said that when the time comes and when we seek to enter the forest, to call on her again, and she will be my guide. So I took some comfort in that, albeit we haven't got the answer now. But I feel a bit more comfortable, and I feel like we will fare loads better going into the Failure Forest than we did previously. Albeit I haven't really solved any mysteries, if I'm honest.
Oh. So mysteries are just meant to be there, and not being solved the time that we want, unfortunately.
But I'll go head first into them as I always do.
It's worked out alright so far. Yeah, I mean, you did
Apart from
die.
dying. I did die.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think we mentioned that enough.
No,
Yeah.
I think certainly.
Where's the big man?
I left him. He picked some books from the downstairs library, and I think he went to the smoking room, which I haven't seen yet, but
He can't
seems
resist.
to be where he's.
Okay.
Seems to be where he's at.
Would you like me to show you where the smoking room is? If you're done here, if you need more time,
I
can
am
go
not.
sit down.
I still have a fair amount of to get on with here, but another time during this week, I'm sure we'll have enough time.
I shall leave you to it then. I don't want to disturb you any longer, and I will go find Mr. the Brave.
Mr. the Brave.
I forgot what his full surname is.
Does have a surname.
No.
Well, you don't know it.
No.
It has an out of character note.
No, actually. You did the witch
That's
on
not
Halloween.
his surname, but. Ah, yes, we did.
The witch on Halloween said it.
Ah, yes.
We did indeed.
I remember it as Dargon Thundercunt, or whatever it was.
Close.
It's close enough for that.
Hand cunt. Well,
They go together at times.
we digress. So, Ander, as you enter the smoking room, there is now a thin blanket of smoke on the ceiling, slowly sort of drifting out through a vent in the ceiling, and you see Dargon with a look on his face you've not really seen before. It's that look of confused concentration with a cigar. You did say your cigar, correct? Yeah, cigar in his mouth, almost burnt out at this point, just sort of puffing away, sort of.
You look troubled there, friend. Have we reached a sentence with too many syllables?
Yeah, 2. No, I'm just reading up on how I can hopefully make some of our battles a little better. Always had a bit of a background of leading people, and realised that probably should be doing that more in battle as well. I've just been reading up a bit. I have to admit, the book's giving me an headache, so probably be the only one. Nah, it can't be the cigar. No, wouldn't be at all. No, absolutely got to be the book.
Are you sure you need tips on leading, Dargon? Because I don't know. I've followed you into many a battle.
Yeah, I know, but you need to get your head looked at. So that doesn't mean anything.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, it's all about just trying to be better in battle, seeing if we can help others that are around us. So you can never stop learning, whether it be on the battlefield or in a lovely cushy chair like this. But I have to admit, I have got a bit of an itch to start swinging this hammer and trying out a couple of new things.
Funny you should say that. I was just about to say that I'm quite looking forward to hanging back and pilfering enemies from a distance with my new bow. I've spent some time, becoming familiar with it, and I feel ready to unleash, shall we say.
Sounds good.
Don't worry, it's not a bloodlust. It's just, I just want to try it out. I'm excited. Don't worry.
You sure you don't want a sparring session outside?
I feel like we do need a bit of target practice, although I don't know how you'd spar with a hammer and a bow, and how that would be fair on one of us.
How many times can you hit me before I get close enough to whack you one? I'll start 90 feet away.
What? Yeah, I do feel like we need some practice yet, and Thailania did say, so I think we should.
Yeah.
We should battle practice. Yeah, definitely.
Maybe they do have some battle stuff out here that I can work with.
We'll get Bothrid to turn into a squirrel, and we'll try and I'll try and get him with my arrow, and you try and hit him with your hammer.
Sounds good. At least if one of us hits him, he just turns back into Bothrid.
Well, I'm assuming that's how it works.
I bloody well hope so, otherwise that's a hell of a mess to clear up.
Yeah, we should probably check that.
Yeah. Well, maybe I will put these books back and I'll read them again another time. We have got a few days here.
Yes. Well, part of me thinks if you're really that eager to try out your weapons, what say we go to settle that dispute or investigate the unruliness in Iskelion. Probably said that wrong again. If we've got a week,
I mean,
we can see how.
I really don't mind that, but haven't you got a few things you're waiting for? Do you not need them in combat?
As much, yes, okay. Extra hardiness or endurance would be helpful, but if I'm going to be scattering my enemies with arrows from long distance, I feel a bit more confident.
Well, what about Kirik? Is he done reading? I know he's a quicker reader than I am.
My pearls of death from around my neck, so obviously we live in a democracy and it'll be a group vote, but if we've got a week to kill, I feel like I can't spend all day talking to you guys. I got to do something with my hands if I just start stealing stuff.
We'll either go training or we'll go and see what's trouble in the woods.
I'd like both. You can't leave my hands idle for too long, Dargon.
Yeah, well, enough of your, after dark, things
that was
that you do.
A stealing thing, not a masturbating thing, everyone.
Yeah, well, Dargon thinks it's a masturbating thing, so.
Yeah. Why not both? I have got 2 weapon fighting. I could do.
And 2 hands and all.
Yeah, there we go.
Right,
Andrew's ambidextrous, so.
Yeah, you can write fuck all with both
I've
hands.
just made up.
Right, well, what about a bit of What about a bit of training this afternoon, and then we can sit down and have a whiskey with the Cooper.
Work up an appetite because Bothard should be back with. God knows what he's going to bring back.
He's probably bought like 7 cows, and we're going to have to slaughter them and cook them or something.
I dread to. You did give him 10 gold. That is a lot. He's going to he'll have livestock. He will definitely have livestock.
He will definitely have livestock.
Or he's bought magic beans.
Oh, for fuck's sake! If he has,
we have to slay a job.
Well, he better have to go into a rage just so that I don't kill him.
Oh. Kirik was deep in thought. Should we tell him where we're going to get Bothrid to train, see if he wants to join, or
yeah, but
we should leave him to it?
Leave him to it. We're only going to be outside the castle, aren't we? Or even if we go outside the keep, just to train.
Yeah, he'll see us. Yeah, when he's ready. Yeah.
Unless you want to leave one of those messaging stones with him.
He'll talk to us in his head, I would imagine.
That's about right.
Although we're not going to get in trouble, he did get a bit moody when we left him behind last time.
Let's go.
Granted, we did go to a lighthouse and die, but, I feel like the precedent has been set. He doesn't want to be left out.
And yeah, to be fair, if he did come searching for us, goes out the keep and finds an arrow in my shoulder that you've just fired, he might have questions. Bothrid. Yeah, and a squish Bothrid. Then okay. Yeah. Let's go tell him what's going on.
Yeah, let's go get Kirik. Yeah. We'll have a scale armor and a twist. So I'll go get Bothrid. No, Kirik.
You want to go get him or just tell him?
Okay, so in this time, Kirik, you have been reading more around the changing effects of the wild magic of Nialin. And there is talk of the Greenwood not always being a place of horror and magic. You also read a legend of men being changed into wolfmen.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I get the right world map up, you read a particular passage which describes itself as not necessarily being wild magic, but as a result of a great battle over the wild magic, an island to the south of Nialin is now totally dead. Nothing living.
Okay.
And then you hear the footfalls of your companions
Cool.
as they walk towards.
How far into this book am I?
You've been sort of flicking through back and forth. You've read sort of the introduction, the prologue. You've read the very last note. And I'd say probably with the hour and a bit, you're a good quarter of the way through this book now. Quarter to halfway.
Okay. Cool. Hearing my companions, I will just kind of raise my head. Look at them, see what they want. Yes, you.
We're going to try out our new weapons.
Yeah, Kirik, I was thinking of smacking him round the head with my hammer, and he was going to shoot me in the eye with an arrow. What do you think?
I'm not entirely in accordance with that, but...
don't worry, I'm only pulling your leg. Although we were thinking of having a bit of a sparring session to see what happens.
I still might shoot him with an arrow.
And I might still smack him with the hammer, but not necessarily on the head.
That looks like something that could be useful to do.
Well, just trying to get used to it before we're actually in combat.
We have encountered many trouble before, so a bit of sparring, I think, never hurt anyone, as long as it's controlled. Yes.
When have we ever not been controlled?
That is true, I suppose.
One time when Anders stabbed Dargon, trying to wake him up from...
Stabbed him in the arm.
That was a sword's fault.
When has Ander not been controlled by a sword, you know?
Yeah. Everything just kind of comes back to us.
Dargon was controlled by a harpy.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, maybe I don't have strong will, but...
Well...
They're never trying to seduce me, Kirik. I'll give in.
Anyway, we were either thinking about sparring and looking after the rest of the day, and then possibly going out to the woods, seeing what all of that ruckus was about. So, do you want to keep reading? Do you want to come with us, or do we wait after we've got all of our stuff and go out to the woods then?
I think going out into the woods, we should probably wait for all our items, but I think some sparring would be good, perhaps. We have, every time we've been in encounters, it's been deadly. It would be nice to have a change of pace and perhaps even work out some of our strengths and weaknesses.
Sounds good. I like the idea. So, you want to join us for a couple of hours, or are you still reading? We've got more days, of course.
I'll join in. Put some more time reading later in the week.
Yeah, I wasn't really enjoying reading much longer. Not that that's a surprise.
Did you have any success?
Yeah, Dargon's definitely got that dull ache at the front of his head from concentrating too hard now.
Yeah. Sorry, Ander, you were saying?
You were saying, Dan.
I forgot to ask Dargon whether he was successful in finding anything out about the Phaliad Forest.
Oh, well, yeah, couldn't find a book about it. I gave up looking. There was a whole shelf on battle, though, so that got me excited.
Well, on the walk over to our sparring vicinity, I shall fill you in on what the Dryad Spirit said to me.
Oh, you got in touch with her, did you?
Yes. It won't take me long to tell you, but I'll sort of fill you in on the way. So just so I don't have to repeat it, because obviously everyone's already heard it as well.
Not a chatty mistress then, is she?
I have to admit though, she has got a sultry tone about her. But no, she did not reveal too much.
I thought you were walking with a bit of a limp there, Anda. Although that may have been the way that you were touching that that bow when you came in.
Yeah, that's just my scabbard.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Right then. Like, Nialin like clicks his arms and shoulders and like, come on then. let's go on outside. And start walking outside.
Place. Yeah. We haven't seen one yet, have we?
No, but we can find a random field.
Yeah. Yeah. What if we can make a tree?
So you exit the Malt Master's Keep and go down the ramp. Make me a perception check, everyone.
7.
Unnatural 20.
So 4
Nice.
together.
Cool. So, Kirik and Anda, probably distracted by what they've read and what they've been studying, don't think to really have a look around. Dargan, however, you're on this. You want to smash some shit, so you're acutely aware, looking for an area. And it doesn't take you long as you sort of walk through this courtyard to look over to the right, and you see an area where a number of guards are sparring. There are these straw wooden dummies set up, targets set up for sort of archery practice. There is sort of these wooden dummies with armour on. There's a number of weapon racks, and there's even a makeshift sort of ring for hand-to-hand combat as well.
Oh, there we go, boys. Thought they might have something.
We're quids in.
We are. Let's go for it.
Is there anybody currently doing archery practice?
No.
No one to ask or advice then. Okay, I'll wing it.
Did we know or see what school of fighter when I remember her name, Ms. Witchwood.
Thailania.
That's the one. Thailania.
Bailania.
Yeah, I can't get her name in my head either.
I just can't do it. I can't remember.
It's not something you've inquired about. However, you've seen her with sword and shield. You've also seen her wield magic.
I was just thinking whether it was
You
something
recall
that...
to a conversation you had with her recently, Dargon, she said that you and she were very much alike in some ways.
Cool. Yeah, it was more the fact of just how to whether Anda could get any assistance, because he'd asked before, I think.
It's fine. I will go over to the archery practice area and well, I will practice obviously, but I will use my normal arrows, not my posh arrows, until I'm more familiar. I don't want to waste my magic arrow just in case I miss and it flies off and it's fucking gone. So just use my normal arrows. And I know how to use a bow because I can use a short bow, but I will just sort of put the arrow in and start sizing it up, aiming at one of the targets.
Pull it back. You're used to a bow with a much smaller frame to it, and this one's a bit bulkier. You have to take almost a bit of a wider stance to really get the full feel for the bow. I'm going to say roll to hit with disadvantage, please.
Come on. 13.
As you pull back and sort of let the arrow go, it flies vaguely in the direction you want, and you can see it just skims the top of one of these circular targets.
It's not a bad first effort, actually. I'm quite happy with that. I will knock another arrow and have another bash, trying to compensate for where I went wrong last time, feeling it, trying to get my sight.
Roll again with disadvantage, please.
Oh, 10.
And this time you get a little bit overconfident and you pull back, and the bowstring almost slips out your fingers as you go to release, and the arrow just careens off. And you do hear a distant shout, "Hey! What are you bloody doing?"
4.
Bit fucking late now.
Sorry. I don't suppose you could give me some advice?
Aim for the fucking target.
Thank you, I'll try that next time.
I turned to Kirik and was like, that's what he's been doing wrong all the time then.
Indeed.
Right, so third time's a charm, obviously. I look to Dargon and I'll say 1 gold piece as I hit the target this time.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Right.
I'll take that bet as
Feel
well.
like I need the pressure to make me perform.
Make me a charisma check, please.
Straight charisma. Ooh, big fat 7.
Okay. Roll with disadvantage, please.
Magic, right. 9.
Not almost worse than before. This one just goes up, and you just disappear into the trees somewhere.
As Anders still looking that way, I fire magic missile at the target that he's looking at.
Roll damage, please.
Oh, Christ.
Fuck. Magic missile. 1d4. Oh no, there's 3 of them though, aren't there? Hang on a minute. Yeah, it's 3
Well,
dice.
it depends on the level you're casting it at.
Just
as well.
first level. Blimey. 6, 8. 8 damage.
8 force damage. As your arrow flies into the trees, there is just this as the centre of the target is just obliterated. And you just see this magical ball punch through the middle of it.
I'm just standing there with my hand out like that.
Oh, that was unnecessary.
No, that was funny.
And then I'll flick you both a gold each. Begrudgingly.
We're probably making you nervous, and I'll go off and start eating things. You have a good luck.
Yeah, I feel like I need to be left alone. I've need to rein in my overconfidence, I think. Be a bit more humble, take this a bit more seriously. So,
Cool.
I suppose I'll practice off camera while Dagon twats me with his hammer now.
Okay, so Dargon, you now see a number of what can only be described as these wooden and straw dummies. Not necessarily a live target, but they operate as things that you can practice strikes on.
Cool. So, I'm actually going to try a 2-weapon approach. So I'm going to have hand axe in the left hand and hammer in the right.
Oh yeah, you've got that fancy axe as well, yeah.
Okay.
So
Nice.
I want to. I will first of all. I will go up to one of the first. To just get close to one of them, and I will use, as I believe I can do this, which is odd. But I'll use Booming Blade with the Warhammer.
You spent some time the previous night attuning to that. No, you will have not attuned to this item yet, so you need to make sure it's not attuned in your...
Cool.
The same with your hand axe, you will have not attuned to it yet. Seems you've only bought them today.
I'll look up at it, but yeah. What the hell? Where do I go to attune stuff? There it is. I need to take those off. There we go. Cool. Warhammer of Warning, then. So that is a 27 to hit.
27 to hit, so you come in and you do strike true.
For 12 points of damage.
So it's a 1d8 plus 5.
Oh, sorry, and that, so I did say I was doing Booming Blade, so actually that's an additional, additional 1d8. So that was 12 bludgeoning, is it? From the what's it? Bludgeoning damage, and then 2 points of thunder damage.
So as you go to hit with the Warhammer, there is a crack of thunder as you connect. Just and this wooden dummy splinters.
Yeah. Sorry, just to clarify, the blink hand axe. So yeah, I haven't attuned to it since it's been. I haven't done anything with that since I know about it, but I have had it for quite a while and have sat down with it. So
you've not attuned to it.
I've not attuned to it without knowing what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was not identified, so you didn't know what it was.
Fine. Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, you hit, and there is a crack of thunder, and the force, this whole dummy splinters, shifts. Bits of it fall off to the point where there's not much of it left.
Cool. And I then throw the hand axe to one of the other dummies nearby.
Okay. So I'll say for the sake of this, there are 3 sort of lined up 10 feet apart. You've gone for the middle one, pretty much obliterated that. You then throw your hand axe out to the left. Roll to hit, please.
Ooh, dearie me. That is a 10.
Oof. A 10 will still hit.
Ooh. So that is 8 points of damage.
Points of damage as the hand axe just lands into the dummy and is stuck.
Cool. And then I will, because I can, that was whacked, and that will do that one. I will then do an action surge and two-handed smack the dummy in front of me.
Okay.
So roll to hit. Unnatural 20. Hopefully hits.
Yep, that'll hit.
And then, so yes, a 1d10. So that is, oh man, I rolled a 1, so that is 6 points of damage.
So a two-handed strike. You almost miss this in the fact that there is not a large surface area to hit, but you do manage to strike it, and as you strike it, just there is splinters, there's straw, there's bits of metal. This dummy is gone. There is nothing left. There's just now a stake in the ground where it was.
Turn back to Kira and go, yeah, I kind of like this weapon now.
Looks like you found something more to be useful with.
Yeah.
I walk over and grab the hand axe. Just
Cool.
pull it out. And I would then say that I will I would attempt to try and do a few more throwing the hand axe, getting used to throwing that. So that's what I'm gonna, that, again, off camera sort of thing, just trying to throw it and get used to it.
Cool. So you do sort of put the warhammer away, and you spend time just throwing the hand axe into a target. Majority of times you hit. A couple of times there's the odd miss, but for the most part, you get a good feel for it. Get a good feel for the weighting of it, and quite happy with how you throw it.
Cool.
Kirik, are you watching? Are you training?
Watching. For now.
Watching. Cool. So back to Ander. I am going to say, make me a. Let's think. Roll me a d20, please.
Yep.
Result?
12.
12. Roll me a percentile die, please.
The 10, 20, 30, 40, 51.
Yeah, so a d100 effectively.
00, baby.
I also need you to roll me. I need you to roll me another d10 as well.
1.
Got a fucking 1 out of a percentile roll. Fucking hell.
It's only 1 to 10, isn't it? And then the other one is.
That's it. You managed to roll 1 on between 1 and 100. That's bloody brilliant. That is. That's either amazing or horrific.
So you did manage to roll a 1, and for the majority of this, your arrows have not hit the target. So far, you've managed to get a number around the target, one sort of on the edge, and then a couple have not even managed to sort of fly a decent distance. Are you going to go again?
I'll have to go collect my arrows back up, so I don't want to waste my magic ones. So I'll go collect what ones I can to keep
So you go
practicing.
collect them up. I imagine at this point you're feeling a bit of frustration as well.
Yeah.
Are you going to try again?
Yes. And if I miss this time, I'm going to set fire to it.
I
chuck a fireball at it.
this.
You hear a
Make me a
shout.
dexterity check.
You hear a shout over from wherever we're standing.
Go on, Andy, you can do it.
I'm not sure encouragement is what I need, but okay. Go on. Did you say dexterity check?
Dexterity check, please.
That target has just tripped you up as you came into a room, and you are gonna knock it dead. Go on, son.
It must have worked, Dagon, so just rolled a 20. So I got 24.
Nice. Roll to hit with advantage, please.
Ooh, here we go. Now we're talking, boys. Roll 2 4s. Magic. 11.
So you pull back on the bowstring, and there is a brush of something against your person. Catches you off guard, and you release a little bit before you're ready, and the arrow just flies, misses.
Right.
Then you hear a
So-
whisper. Try again.
And then I realised it was. I realised who it was then. Okay, so then I'll center myself, let the rage, the anger subside, get another arrow, knock it. I will look at the words that are written on the bow. Swift death to my enemy. And I will look at this arrow, target, with so much intent but trying to steady my breath. And you know when snipers hold their breath just before they pull the trigger? I'm going to do that.
And this time as you pull back, you almost feel like there are arms reaching around you, one guiding your left hand on the handle of the bow, the other one guiding your right hand on the bowstring. In a true ghost moment. And you pull back. You take that sort of hold, and then you release. And it's almost like for a moment time stands still, and we get a full camera revolve around, and just this time sort of as the arrow then just dead center of the target.
We got it.
And I'll just turn and I'll take a bow. As if I've been playing possum this whole time.
You'll be formidable. You can shoot those
And
things
again,
straight past my ear and straight into the heart of wherever I'm fighting.
It doesn't matter, Dagon. It'll go through your head. I think it doesn't.
Please don't.
Again, there is that whisper on the winds. Remember the feel of the bow. Trust in yourself. And that presence dissipates.
Okay, I've got to remember to stay zen when I'm shooting the bow. I'm really good at thinking before I leap, so that'll come easy to me in the heat of battle, I think. Happy with that. In real time, that's probably about 8 hours.
So say you've probably been training between yourselves with Kirik sort of watching on, studying a little bit. Kirik, are you thinking about anything while you're watching? Or are you just literally just observing?
I mean, I'd say that, partway through throwing hand axe, I would have a conversation with Kirik if he was just standing watching. But I'll let him think first. That's strong, Matt. Fucking hell.
I want it.
They go down the wrong
Wrong tube.
Cooper's whiskey.
Absolutely.
Oh, you rolled a natural 1 on one performance then.
The green screen makes that look mental.
Yeah, it looks like a really
That drink
weird
does make
lager.
it a bit funny. Cool. Don't try and breathe whiskey, people.
Nope. Breathe responsibly.
Soak a tampon. Put it up your bum.
That would make the old
do.
eyes water. Fucking hell.
Don't think I'm thinking of anything in particular. I was just reflecting on the road ahead. Whichever way that takes us.
Cool. So I'll say after a while, as my voice is still recovering, the sun begins to set. Fuck off. The sun does begin to set, and it's been cold. It feels even colder now as the warmth of the sun now begins to disappear. And you can see, sort of in the village, you can start to see smoke rising from various fires that are being lit. The castle itself, a number of sort of chimneys begin to smoke, and sort of lights begin to fill the windows where you can see fires being lit, candles being lit. And eventually guards sort of come and join the training area and begin to spar with each other. A couple now take up positions in the archery range and begin practicing. One of them comments on the bow and how elegant it looks. And the time passes, and you begin to feel hungry. Get that feeling of, we've not really eaten since breakfast.
I'm also conscious that we've left Bothrid unattended all day. We've got to find him. I dread to think what he's been up to.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Well, everybody enough. Come back tomorrow, do a bit more fighting. But yeah, let's go have some dinner, and then we can go and see the Cooper.
Yes. Maybe... I think I remembered what we were going to ask. Weren't we going to ask about the fact that it's exceptionally cold for this time of year on this mountain?
Yeah, that's
But I feel like I will have to make up or make amends with the distiller. And she seems to be the most attuned to this sort of thing, so I think she might be the person to ask.
Yeah,
See if
sounds
she
good.
feels any disturbances in the force.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go and find out how much of the town stock Botherin's bought, and let's have some dinner, and then let's go and see the Malt Masters again.
Deal.
Alrighty then.
Sounds like a plan.
And with that, we are going to take a short break. My count was off. Cool. So, getting back into it, as you make your way from the training ground and make your way back towards house number 3, the smell of cooking hits your nose, and it smells gorgeous. Like amazing, proper home-cooked food. As you walk up to the door of number 3, you see either side there are piles of firewood, there are bundles of vines, what look like some sacks of flour. As you open the door, that smell hits you, and you can smell... It smells like either a soup or a stew. And as you enter the kitchen, you can see Bothrid busy sort of over the fire, a great cooking pot, throwing a few bits in, sort of stirring it. Good.
Oh, Bothrid, that's
As you now look around the room, there are vegetables, there's garlic hanging from the walls, there's flowers and plants all over the place. You can see some bread, what looks like some slabs of meat, a huge, well, not a huge, but a reasonable size keg of some sorts.
Oh, Bothrid,
Darwin,
this
you were
is
saying.
amazing. Unbelievable.
I must admit, I worried
back.
what we would find, but this you have outdone yourself.
Village, very kind, helpful.
Oh, it's bloody lovely to see. Is that a keg I can see over in the corner there?
Yes, Glentuag Ale.
Oh,
Fill
all of this for 10 gold.
Fill it up. Bloody lovely.
10 gold, yes. Said we were with Malt Masters, they give me cheap.
Oh, brilliant.
Nice.
You got
Not the
some
fact that you're
smarts on
scared
you
of
there.
beasts.
Good thinking.
Also did show for one man. Showed animal stuff and flower bits.
I wonder what he was going to say then. Gigolo Bothrid.
He gave me vegetables. They tasty. Good onions.
Oh, is that you got a stew going on there, Bothrid?
Yes. Think it was beef I put in.
Nice. Is it nearly ready? Where we realise we haven't really eaten today.
Oh yes. Been Simmering, I think she said.
Oh, bro. Well, bring it over. Join us. Let's have some dinner.
I can't wait, so I'm going to tear off a hunk of bread and dunk it in and eat a bit.
And it is a damn good stew.
We've been on the road for weeks.
Yeah. I have burned that top lip though. Fuck.
And as you
His
dunk
ears
your
off.
bread in, Bothrid actually slaps you on the hand. Good ball. Don't be heathen.
I've seen you eat a turkey leg. Don't talk to me about table manners.
This home now. We treat it well.
Okay.
Oh, well said.
Yes, dear.
Right. Dig in.
And there's these wooden bowls that he fills using a ladle, and then he finds some sort of wooden flagons, if you like, not flagons, but goblets, and pops the lid off the keg, sort of scoops it out, plonks 4 down. To home.
I could get used to this.
To home.
To home.
Bothrid takes a big long drink and looks, picks up his bowl.
To be honest, I'm going to follow Bothrid's lead and I'm going to do the exact same thing. Hot stew pouring down my face. Ah!
Nice.
And Bothrid chuckles.
Hey, Bothrid, you want to join us for a bit of a sparring session tomorrow? Get a bit of a fighting skills going.
Try out your new club.
Ooh. Yes, must try club and funny sword stick.
Yeah,
Funny sword
funny
stick.
sword stick. Oh yeah, the one Ander gave you.
Your spear.
The
The glaive.
Oh, yes, the staff, yes.
double.
I gave it to you and I didn't know what you were on about. Well, which reminds me, I have another gift for you, Buggers. I communed with the spirit today, and she left me a little present, and I'll pull out a carefully parcels fledgling or whatever it is she gave me. Little plant.
Bothrid sort of opens it up and sees the sapling. Must take more care with roots. What should survive? We plant outside.
As you wish.
Thank you.
What is it? Is it a magical plant? I have no idea. Actually, I will have an idea. If I'm proficient with the herbalism kit, would I know what plants are? Or is that horticulture?
Some
Are they
plants.
similar? Do I know what the plant is?
Some plants. You can make me a, I'm going to say intelligence check and add your proficiency modifier or proficiency bonus as well, please.
Ooh. 25. Happy with that.
So as you look at it, and you do recognise the structure of the sapling. Looks a little bit like an oak tree sapling.
Ooh. Be careful where you do plant that, Bothrid. That will grow into a mighty oak tree one day.
Plant behind house.
Yes.
So after dinner, shall we pop back up and see the Cooper, ask a few more questions? Did you actually want to go and speak to someone else, Sander?
Yes, I was thinking. Well, firstly, to make amends with the distiller, but I'm thinking she might be able to shed some light on why it's so bitterly cold.
Yeah. Well, mate, maybe we'll drop our bits on the floor and then we'll have a look and go
Yep.
on.
Yep. There wouldn't be an episode without
Amber
me
just
dropping.
knocks the
Wouldn't, would
spoon
it?
sideways.
Yeah, we didn't use the spoon, so yeah, fuck it, drop it on the floor. Matt, would it be
Cool, so you have a nice
would it be
hearty
possible
meal.
that
Carry
that I would know that attuning to an item is essentially something you can do on a short rest, and a short rest is something that you do nothing more than no more strenuous than eating, drinking, reading, or tending to wounds, that I could attune while we were sitting chatting to the Cooper, or would that be distracting and I'd have to do it when it's just quiet? And if I was just sitting, if we were all just sitting in the room and I was just having a whiskey with the Cooper, just attuning to a weapon, could I do it?
Or Buffett does the washing up after we've eaten tea.
Yes, I'll say that.
Cool.
You were taking a short rest, so you focus pretty much only on that one object.
Yeah, so still want to go through with going and saying hello to everyone, but I'm basically just going to be quiet while we're there, and I'm going to attune to both items. Do you also think it would be that I could, in the act of attuning, could I also create my weapon bond, or would I have to do that as an additional hour of ritual? It is a 1 hour ritual, so would I have to do that as an addition?
Yes.
So I in essence need to spend.
So that's going to be a minimum of 2 hours work.
2 hours work, or 4 hours if I'm going to do both weapons.
You can only do a weapon bond with
2. You can have up to 2 bonded weapons.
Since fucking when?
Since
You
always.
can have 2 bonded weapons. 4 hours.
Yeah. So, for the rest of the evening, I'll come along with you guys, but I'm basically just going to be attuning to all this shit.
Sure.
Okay. Do what you got to do. That would be cool to see, though, when you're just like.
Well, I'd like to be able to get the most out of these weapons, and I think I might be able to use some of the stuff that I learnt with Dawnbringer to actually use with these weapons, and one of them was actually having it returned to me.
It'd be handy if you're going to start throwing axes at people.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yes.
So you guys,
If
lead the way.
everybody's finished up, if we're all finished up, shall we head back to the keep?
Yeah, I'd be interested to know what they say.
Yeah.
I may not get all of it.
That's right, we'll do the listening and the talking.
Sounds good.
You just make the numbers up. Alfred, you coming?
I will stay here. I'll clean up.
Good call.
Thank you, Butterin.
Thanks, Bothrid.
Thank you. You're a good man.
We'll fight in the morning.
Have fun. See you later.
We'll head over then.
Okay, so you made that familiar path back up past the tavern and up towards the Maltmaster's Keep. And as you enter, once again, one of the sisters is there. This time Arabelle. Hello? 2 visits in one day.
Yes, could you point me in the direction of the distiller, please? I need to have word with her.
You need to have a word with her.
Don't worry.
Mainly to apologise.
Well, I will need to announce you first. She is in her tower. Follow me. I'm sure she will be more than happy to speak to you. And she's lead you through the hall entrance, sort of into the main corridor, but then immediately off into the ground floor of one of the towers. And there's a few sort of armor stands and a couple of weapon racks down here, but not much else apart from a big lit sort of fire pit / brazier in the middle of the floor. Leads you up the stone stairs and then sort of tells you to wait on a half landing. I will just knock, and I shouldn't be a minute. Please wait. And you see her sort of disappear up the stairs silently, softly footed, or very soft footed. There's a little knock, and then the creak of a door, and silence. Probably about 5 minutes pass. The creak of a door, soft footsteps back down. She will see you. She asks that you do not touch anything, and avoid the circle on the floor as you enter.
That's not ominous. Okay, lead the way.
And she sort of leads you back up the stairs, and she holds the door open, and there is a distinct red glow coming out of the tower. And as you set foot up the stairs, Arabelle closes the door softly behind you, and you see a relatively simple room. There is a fireplace in one corner. There is a desk with a book open. There is a single leather chair. There is a telescope next to a window. And then on the floor, in pretty much the centre of the room, there is a red circle, glowing red circle. Very much looks like a spell circle on the floor. And in the chair is the distiller.
Does it look like the circle that we teleported with when we was in the cave?
Make me an Arcana check, please.
I'll assist with that. Or I'll
Okay.
check as well. Yes.
Okay, yeah, make me separate checks.
15.
7.
Kirik, you can't quite tell, and it doesn't look the same. The shape itself, it's not quite just a fixed circle. There are lines that cross it and various connections and dots. Looks very different.
Okay. Good evening, Mum.
Good evening, boys.
Evening.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Well, we have come for some questions, if that's okay, but I must ask, what is that circle on the floor? What is it for?
It is my focus circle. It is used to concentrate my abilities. Makes casting spells significantly easier.
Okay. There's something that I owe you, and I feel like it's been a long time coming, and hopefully it will break down this frosty barrier that I feel there is between us. I want to apologise for any ill will or any distrust that I may have given you. I fear that it was a self-conscious bias or prejudice, and I feel like I've let that go now, and I've moved past it, and I just wanted you to know. I wanted you to accept my humble apology, and hopefully we can move on. Move past it.
I certainly appreciate the honesty, Amanda. I too apologise for any ill feelings you may have gotten from me. It is difficult to trust newcomers in any sense, but in my long years, not all have been as noble as the likes of you.
I think that's probably the first time I've ever been called noble in my life.
Well, based on what you've told me, nobility is something
Finally living
that
up
comes
to my
naturally to
bloodline.
you.
Yes. It would seem. And
And there is a little wry smile on her face.
which is
Now these
a rare
questions,
treat,
boys.
actually. Yes,
indeed.
sorry. Dagon and Thailania noticed that it's unusually cold and almost eerily unnaturally cold for this type of mountain, for this type of year. Have you felt any disturbances, or do you agree that it is odd?
It is extremely odd. Winter is not due for another month or so, and yet it grows uncannily cold. The highestmost peaks are already impassable, covered in snow. I suspect it won't be very long until snow falls here. The source, however, I am still trying to figure out.
Do you feel it should be a concern?
I am unsure. Which, I suppose, concerns me more than anything.
Yes.
I do not like to not know.
Seeing the circle on the floor, and it making me think back to the other magic circle. I can't remember whether we've actually told Malt Masters about Ethereal or not. Did we?
Oh, lion face boy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
I think we did.
No, I don't think we did.
Okay. So, seeing your magic on the floor, it reminds me actually we met a spellcaster on our travels on our way to Ironforge, or on our way back from Ironforge. His name was
On the way to.
Ethereal. On the way to Ironforge, thank you, Dagon. We returned a spellbook to a man named Ethereal. I mean, if you've seen the man, you know who I mean. He has the head of a lion. You can't really mistake it for anything
And he
else.
chuckles softly.
Do you know this man?
I know Ethereal. It is interesting that you've come across him on your travels.
Yeah, you weren't that helpful.
To be honest, I did try to swindle him, and I nearly come a cropper for it. But I gave him his book in the end. I originally feared he would do us wrong, but I judged him to be a good soul. Was I correct?
He has not done any harm as far as we can tell. He is very powerful.
Could we consider him a potential ally?
As I said, he has not done any ill to us. I see no reason to consider him an enemy.
I look to Kirik to see if he has any questions for the lady, or whether we should leave her to her focus.
No questions here. We were invited by the Cooper to come and enjoy a good night of whiskey. So perhaps if you could tell us if you know where he is.
I suspect if he is awaiting you for whiskey, then he will either be in the banquet hall, or perhaps in the smoking room.
Well, I've heard so much about this smoking room, I should probably check what it is about.
If you enjoy that
It's
sort of
harsh
thing.
on the lungs.
The whiskey, on the other hand, is very good. I should know. I helped craft it after all. Try the
My
cask
tongue's
strength.
still numb.
I think you'll enjoy that one. Ah, you have tried the cost drink. Yes.
Yes.
Well, I shall be sure to have some bottles sent to number 3, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're
One
welcome.
more question before we leave, if I may. It's a bit of a cheeky ask, but it wouldn't be me if it wasn't.
Indeed.
The Cooper tells us that you have been here for centuries, and he inferred at a potential way of remaining youthful. Now, I can see you are young and... No, I don't want to say voluptuous, I don't want to say vicarious. Vivacious? Is that the right word? Vigor. Youthful. Fucking hell. You're a young, youthful looking woman, and I wanted to make sure that whether you could share in its secrets.
Lost for
Dig a
words,
hole,
Ander.
dig a
I
hole.
see. Stumbling with your words. Beset by the beauty of the elves once again, I wonder.
It's an Achilles heel, which is Thieves' Camp for weakness.
Thought we said something else then.
There are secrets among the guild which will remain a secret until you have proven yourselves worthy of them. You are on the path, but not there just yet.
Challenge accepted. Okay. There's nothing more, fellas. I think we should leave this lady to her evening.
Indeed.
Go give some company to the Cooper.
Would it be easier to say that Dargon went to the smoking room to leave these guys, so that he was actually looking at his kit?
We'll say at this point you just sort of been stood in a corner, studying the hand axe for now.
Go, yeah.
Sort of really studying in quite aggressive detail. I've just been silent.
Cool.
I may have to disappear
I'll
in just
bow
a
my
second.
It's alright. In the meantime, then let's go down to the smoking shelter.
Indeed.
Room.
Yes. Bow my head to the distiller, give her a little wink, and off we go.
She bows her head and returns to her book. And you make your way downstairs. And as you come through the whiskey store, you see the door to the banquet hall open, and you pass through it. And beyond, in the smoking room, you can already see the Cooper sat, very much filling one of these leather chairs. His armour still on him, and he has a glass in his hand. There's a bottle next to the chair. Thought you said sunset, boys. I'm afraid you're already a few glasses behind.
I'm not going to play
I'm
catch
sure
up.
we'll catch up.
I'll be taking it steady.
That's what I like to hear. And he stands up, goes to a corner into a cabinet, takes out 3 glasses, comes back to the bottle.
As he goes to the
fills them up.
corner, can I use Eyes of the Grave?
Yes. And you see
Does
nothing.
it flare anything? Good, just checking. I breathe
So he
slightly.
hands sort of
Small
pours
sense
the
of relief.
whiskey into these 3 glasses and then hands them to you all. As Dargon sort of just blindly takes it and sinks down into a chair.
Cheers.
And the Cooper sort of... New toys, I see.
Just a simple
Yes,
nod.
we acquired them from Mephisto today.
That fine fellow, yes. Has a knack for acquiring things that, well, things I've never seen before.
He has a knack of
Definitely an
removing gold
interesting
from
one.
my purse.
Or rather, you have a weakness for shiny objects. As he looks at the
Let's say
necklace
that.
around your neck.
You've seen my my pearls, I see. I can't wait to try them out.
You probably look like you're wearing a friggin' pearl necklace.
I would be careful with that one. I've seen that kind before. Don't drop them.
No,
Oh god.
no, and then I tuck them in to my
Mushroom cloud. Just go off. Just zoom out of Nialin. There's just that was the crater. That was exactly what
Yeah.
happened.
And thanks for playing.
Yeah.
This, as Mephisto hands it over, is called the TPK necklace.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Stuff. So, boys, did you find what you needed in the library?
Some of it at least. There's certainly some more studying to be done, but I think we are on a good path to start with.
Good. And have you thought of where you will go next?
Yes, I think we want to head into check out the ruins that you mentioned in our meeting yesterday. Seems to be quite troubling over there. And I think afterwards we might make our way further north. Perhaps.
And I've just remembered we should have asked the distiller about it.
Speaking
Further
of
north.
which, you don't happen to know anything about the ruins.
Because I think it was the Cooper who told us to speak to the distiller about it. It's a site of a past battle, and she knows more about it, is what my note says. So, yeah.
No, I'll actually later on I'll make my way there. It's fine. I need to talk to her anyway.
Is that the Wood of Ixalion, or is that the crater?
Big Salion, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we also...
You could have picked something that wasn't in Welsh, Matt. It's quite hard to say.
What is hard about Ixalion?
You just say it the
Every
other way
Y
around.
is an I.
Okay, I'm just going to write it with an I then, and then it'll be easy.
You just keep saying Iscallion. Put the S in the wrong place.
I have, yeah. Scallion, which
This is
is,
the full-
isn't that what Americans call spring onions?
Our American viewers, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, thanks.
So the Cooper sort of swirls his whiskey around. It would be good to see those ruins dealt with, or at least whatever is occurring there, settled.
Yes, I think we are
Anyone we can
heading.
write.
I think we're heading there after we collect our items from. We left a couple of items with Mephisto.
More toys. You have been busy, boys.
And all of our
Yes.
money.
And all our money.
He's enchanting my Maltmaster's pin to hopefully make me more durable in battle.
Interesting. Perhaps something we should look into. You've piqued my interest, Ander.
You should make sure you have plenty of coin. And we actually,
We have
to be
our
fair,
own
it didn't
ways
cost
of
us too
doing
much
these
coin.
things.
We did manage to bribe him somewhat with some Wrathstrike that we found.
You found some Wrathstrike.
Does he have ears? His ears pricked up then.
Yes, yeah, there is.
Yes. Okay. Yes, whilst in Seamate, we raided a thieves' den and we found a block of Wrathstrike in one of their treasure chests. So naturally, I stole it.
Naturally.
For good purpose, obviously. Because now I've traded it in for better weapons to better fight the cause of the guild.
Shame you didn't hold on to that. We have many a use for such a metal.
What do you use it for, usually?
Did you lick it as well?
Got a little buzz, did we?
It tickles.
There are certain properties of the metal which have their benefits. For example, make a door and a key. Only that key can open the door.
And that.
Sprinkle a little bit of the shavings into a whiskey.
Ooh. Does it give you the same kick as licking it?
There are other benefits.
Sexual?
And
is he trying to tell me he's made like a blue pill? Is that what you mean? For virility.
Think to your gifts.
To make me strong.
In one such case, there are multiple uses, depending on how you melt the metal and work with the metal. It is, after all, born of wild magic.
I feel like we've been swindled. Although he did give us 40,000 for it.
I was about to say, he gave us a lot of money for it. I'm very thankful for you handing that over, because I'm sure we get a lot of stuff out of it, but why don't we just bugger off to the crater and see if there's any more?
Yeah. I've still got the key. I got the key. I got the secret. Oh, is that copyright? We're going to have to edit that out.
This is a conundrum. No, because it was less than 2 bars, so we're good. What happens if you get a door and a key that was already made and you melt that down? What happens then?
Oh no, I've gone cross-eyed. I don't know. Yeah.
Killing it with the pop culture references tonight.
I don't know.
And
back in the room with the Cooper.
Austin Powers.
Yes. Well, like I said, Mephisto gave us a good price, so I don't feel like he would probably put it to better use than I. You could always command it off him.
Perhaps I will pay Mephisto a visit and see if I can convince him to part with it.
Yes, good luck. You'll end up buying 3 things and come away with no Wrathstrike.
We shall see. Tell me, boys, what do you think of the whiskey?
Lovely.
Smooth, but it's got a punch.
And this one is a bit mellower, less of a burn, but certainly an alcoholic feel to it.
Has it been aged in a wine barrel?
This one...
That's what my tongue is telling me anyway.
No. One...
Could have played the long one out, you bastard.
Nay.
But alright.
The man drinking wine all afternoon. He's like, no, I'm not having that. Not having that.
No, you idiot. My tongue is still numb from that one.
This one in an oak barrel, followed by an ale cask as well.
Ooh. Should have known I've had one of those before.
Interesting.
You certainly are a magician.
Well, it is a team effort, as they say. Make the barrels. The blender comes up with the recipes. The distiller works the distillery process. And the stillman, he makes the stills.
You make it sound so mundane. What you've created is liquid gold. And I'll take another sip. I'm starting to enjoy myself now.
We managed to make a pretty penny of it. And we get to enjoy the fruits of our labours.
True. I look at Dargon in the corner, make sure he's alright. He's been unusually quiet. He's usually
At this point, he's
sunk half a bottle by now.
He's swapping from the hand axe to the warhammer and sort of studying both. And the conversation becomes a bit more, not mundane, but just sort of general chit chat. Talking about how the day's been, talk about your training, talk a little bit about the Cooper's barrels, and you take an interest in how he makes them, and a couple of hours pass. And eventually, the Cooper sort of reaches back. Well, boys, it has been a fine evening. And thank you for your company.
Thank you for
And now he looks down to
inviting
his
us
left
in.
and sees that there's been 2 bottles that are now empty. Got through a fair bit there.
We've been on the road for a
Careful
while.
on your journey home.
Yes, I hope we haven't eaten into your profits too much.
Absolutely not. You've seen the whiskey store, right?
Yeah, well, that's true.
Well, I will take my leave for this evening. I will see you during the week, I have no doubt.
Not
So
too early tomorrow. I feel like I may have a frightful head.
Very well. Enjoy yourselves. Arabelle will show you out when you are ready.
Arabelle's the chatty one, isn't she? No, Mirabelle's the chatty one.
No, Mirabelle's
Arabelle
not
can't
chatting.
no,
talk.
Arabelle's the chatty one.
Mirabelle's sarcastically chatty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Arabelle talks. Mirabelle, unfortunately, was a victim of a childhood illness, which stole
I
her
knew it was
voice.
going to be a tragic accident after I made a joke. Why does that always happen? So, Ander will proceed to take his elven boot out of his mouth.
Do not worry, she has a thick skin.
She's deaf as well, that's good.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
And with that, the Cooper
Good evening.
stands up, sways a little bit, but then exits and sort of blunders down the hall. What are we doing?
Leaning on Dargon, because I am pissed.
Well, I think
Take me home, big
it's
boy.
best if we all head back to our own place and get some sleep.
I hope there's some leftovers. I'm starving. Got the munchies.
I'm sure
would
both
say
Rick
that-
will have something.
I should have left the sending stone so we could have phoned ahead and put an order in.
I would say that Dargon actually stays in the smoking room until he's finished attuning to everything and then goes home.
Okay. So we'll say
Kirik, you'll have to help me home.
Dargon just totally ignores the two of you, and Kirik and Ander. Make me Constitution saving throws, please.
Oh,
22.
oh, good.
Kirik has managed to hold the whiskey quite well. And on the other hand, you are quite worse for wear. And you sort of lean on your friend for support as he takes you back to number 3, sits you down at the table. Bothrid sort of reheats a little bit of the stew for you and hands it to you. And then they both take you and carry on.
I'll do that usual drunk thing where I'm like, you guys, you're my best friends. And I told you guys you're great. That old drunk thing, and then I'll start singing. While they're trying
and
to
as you start singing, they slowly take you upstairs and just lay you on your bed and gently close the door and leave you to it.
Have to remove curse.
And maybe Bothrid too sort of takes his leave for the evening. About an hour later, Dargon returns. A little bit of a grin on his face, now feeling accomplished that he is now attuned to his items and constructed a weapons bond. And that is where we are going to leave it for this evening. So, I've changed clothes dramatically in the clothes for tonight. We had a bit of a family emergency in my house as we're finishing up that episode, but I just wanted to do a proper recording of the outro rather than a rushed recording, just to say thank you very much, to say thank you to all our tools, to Incarnate, to Tabletop Audio, to D&D Beyond, to Hero Forge, but also give another shout out to Battle Bards. So if you do want that extra ambiance to your game, don't forget to go register at Battle Bards and use the discount code Malt and Magic, all one word, and that will give you a nice little cheeky discount. Other than that, a thank you to my players. I know they're not watching this right now as we're recording it off screen, but a thank you to my awesome players. They are amazing. And a thank you to you, the viewers, for continuing to watch, and we shall see you soon.